Back to our channel. Now we are going to start talus anatomy. So if you see, the talus is the second largest tarsal bone. So among tarsals, we know that there are total 7 tarsal bones. The first largest bone is the calcaneus, and the second one comes the tarsal bone. So here in this diagram you can see this is a calcaneus and this is tarsals. You know, tarsals is a second largest bone, calcaneus is a first largest bone. So if you see the tarsal from different surfaces, then you can see, for example, you can see here the first one is a superior view and the second one is inferior view, and this one is a medial view and this one is a lateral view. So now let us start to understand this talus. So talus is second largest bone and it lies between the tibia above and calcaneum below. So actually below it articulates with the calcaneum and above it articulates with the tibia bone. And sides it is gripped by two malleoli, that is the lateral and medial malleosis. So mainly it is having a head. So for example, you can see over here, this is a head, this is a head, and it has a neck, this one is a neck, and also it has a body. So let us understand the side determination. Okay, so actually it is having a rounded head which is directed forwards, and it has a trochlear articular surface. This is a trochlear articulated surface of body which is directed upward, and concave articular surface downward. So this is the inferior aspect, right? So downward you have the concave articular facet, right? This one is a downward concave articular facet, and upward it has a trochlear articular facet. Okay, and the body bears a large triangular facet laterally. So triangular facet laterally, you can see here the facet for lateral malleosis which is triangular. Okay, and medially it will have the facet which is comma shaped. So this is a comma shaped medially. So mainly by these features you can determine the talus which is of right side or left side, mainly by means of this lateral and medial side. Always see that the lateral side have triangular area and always the medial side have the comma shaped. So by this you can determine whether it's right side or left side of the talus bone. Okay, now coming to the head, we'll discuss in head detail. Head is directed forward, slightly downward, and medially. It is an anterior surface, it's oval and convex. The long axis of this surface is directed downwards medially. It mainly articulates with the posterior surface of navicular bone. Of course, you know the talus articulates in front with navicular bone, right? So here will be the navicular bone. So this head articulates with the navicular bone. Okay, and especially it articulates with the posterior surface of navicular bone. Of course, next coming to the inferior surface, you can see the inferior surface is mainly marked by 3 articular areas, and these are separated by indistinct ridges. So let us find out what are those 3 articular areas. You can see here clearly, first you have the facet for navicular, and also have anterior calcaneal facet, and next one is a middle calcaneus facet, and the third one is a posterior calcaneus facet. So what do you understand? On the posterior surface you have all the facets for the calcaneus, because posterior side it will get articulating with the our calcaneus bone, whereas anteriorly it will get articulating with the head to the navicular posterior side. Done. So now coming to inferior surface, yeah, it has 3 articular areas separated by indistinct ridges. The posterior facet is largest, oval and gently convex. It articulates with middle facet of calcaneum. So it articulates with middle facet on the calcaneum. The anterior lateral facet articulates with, you can see here, the anterior lateral facet articulates with anterior facet of calcaneum, and the medial facet articulates with the spring ligament. The medial facet with the spring ligament. If you see the medial facet, it will have the spring ligament over here. Now let us start the discussion on neck. If you see the neck, it is constricted part, okay, between the head and the body, and it is set obliquely on the body, so that inferiorly it extends further backward on medial side than on lateral side. So this is the medial side and this is the lateral side. You can see the neck is more forward, moving forward towards the medial side when compared with the lateral side, right? Because on lateral side lateral malleosis is covering it, but on medial side it is continuing, right? You can see. So neck is more continuous towards the medial side. Okay, and when viewed from dorsal side means like this, right? So when viewed from dorsal side, the neck is directed downward. Yeah, if you see from dorsal side, the neck will be downward, forward, and medially. The neck body angle, that is between the neck and body, it is like 130 to 140 degrees in infants, whereas in adults it's 150. The smaller angle in young children accounts for inverted position of feet. So why there is low angle in children? Because of inverted position of their feet. Next, coming to the medial part, the medial part of its plantar surface is mainly marked by a deep groove termed as sulcus tali. So actually sulcus tali will be on the medial side. It would be here like this. The sulcus tali lies opposite to sulcus calcaneae on calcaneum. So actually these both sulcus are meeting each other between the calcaneus and the talus bone. So two together enclose a space called as sinus tarsi. So there is a sinus tarsi space which is forming on medial part of plantar surface by deep groove. First one, this sulcus, the sulcus of talus bone is called sulcus tali, and the sulcus of calcaneus is called sulcus calcaneae. Both together called as sinus tarsi. Okay. Now coming to in habitual squatters, the squatting facet is commonly found on upper and lateral part of neck. There will be a squatting facet for upper and lateral part of the neck. Okay, the facet articulates mainly with the anterior margin of lower end of tibia during extreme dorsiflexion of ankle. So in the case of dorsiflexion of ankle, mainly there is a squatting facet present on the neck on the medial side and also on the lateral side. So these facets are mainly to articulate with anterior margin lower end of tibia. Okay, especially in extreme dorsiflexion of ankle joint. Now we'll discuss in detail about the body of our talus. So if you see the body, it's cuboidal in shape and has mainly 5 surfaces. So you can see this is the superior surface. Okay, and it mainly bears an articular surface which articulate with lower end of tibia to form ankle joint, and this surface is also called trochlear surface because it's like a trochlea. Okay, and it is convex from before backwards and concave from side to side, and it is wider anteriorly and than posteriorly. So if you see, this is anterior, this is posterior because this is head, so it is wider anteriorly when compared with posteriorly. And the medial border of surface this side. Okay, the medial border of the surface is straight, but the lateral border is directed forward and laterally. And the inferior surface here, the inferior surface of the body bears an oval facet mainly to articulate with the posterior facet of calcaneum to form subtalar joint. So to form the subtalar joint, the inferior surface mainly bears a concave articular surface to articulate with posterior facet of calcaneum over here on the body. So if you observe the medial surface, it's articular. The medial surface is articular above and it is non-articular below. The articular surface is comma shaped and articulate with the medial malleosus, and the lateral surface bears a triangular articular surface mainly for the lateral malleosus, and this surface is concave from above downwards, and its apex forms the lateral tubercle of talus. This apex forms the lateral tubercle of talus. Okay, and the posterior part of the lateral surface is separated from the trochlea by an ill-defined small triangular area which articulates with inferior here. So this small triangular area which articulates with the inferior transverse tibiofibular ligament. Okay, and next coming to the posterior surface, you can see this posterior surface is small and marked by an oblique groove, and the groove is bounded by medial and lateral tubercles. The posterior tubercle is also present, and it's occasionally here in this diagram you can see then here clearly. This diagram you can see the posterior surface is small, marked by oblique groove. This one is the oblique groove, and the groove is bounded medially and laterally by tubercles. You can see the medial tubercle and laterally have posterior tubercle. So a posterior tubercle is also present and occasionally separate, and this is also called os trigonum. This is called os trigonum. Okay, now let us understand the attachments on talus. Remember that talus bone doesn't have any muscle attachments, only it has ligaments which are attached to it. So So let us understand ligaments. So talus is devoid of muscular attachments, but numerous ligaments are attached because it take part in the 3 joints. What are those 3 joints? You can see here, superiorly it articulates with the tibia and it forms superior joint, and head articulates with the navicular and it is called a pretalar joint. This is called superior talar joint, and also here below inferiorly it articulates with the calcaneus, and that is called as subtalar joint. So 3 joints are involved for talus. So let us see what are all the ligaments which are involved in this 3 joints. So mainly coming to the neck. So let us start our discussion with the neck. You can see here neck, and this is the neck on all surfaces. So let us see what are attached. So mainly the neck have on the distal part of dorsal surface, here on the distal part of distal part of dorsal surface provide attachment to capsular ligament of ankle joint. So here there will be the attachment of capsular ligament of mainly ankle joint, okay, and to the dorsal talano-clavicular ligament. So dorsal talano-clavicular navicular ligament will be here. So in this surface, the ligaments which I mentioned, you can see this is the dorsal talano-navicular ligament, and this is the capsular ankle joint. And to the dorsal talano-clavicular ligament, the proximal part of dorsal surface lies within the ankle joint. Inferior surface provides attachment to interosseous talano-clavicular ligament. You can see interosseous talocalcaneal ligament. This is on the inferior surface, okay, and also cervical ligaments which are mainly getting attached, and also lateral part of neck. So this is the lateral part of the neck, gives attachment to anterior talofibular ligament. This is the anterior talofibular ligament. So these are all different ligaments what we have discussed which are attached to the neck part. So till now what you have listened, on the neck there is attachment of, so on the neck there is attachment of dorsal talano-clavicular ligament and also capsule of ankle joint. Just understand it, dorso talo navicular, this is talus bone, navicular to the navicular bone because this is near to head, right? Capsule of ankle joint because it should form the ankle joint with the above you have our fibula and tibia, right, with that. So for that the capsule, so this both are here. And next coming to the inferior surface, on inferior surface means which is facing towards the calcaneus, right? So of course here will be the interosseous talocalcaneal ligament, and also there is cervical ligament. And next coming to the lateral side, if you see on the lateral surface means towards your little finger side, right? So there will be anterior talofibular ligament because the fibula bone will be lateral side, right? So very easy, according to the side, according to the bone which is present over there, the name will be like that. So as here in the head in front you have navicular, so talonavicular ligament, and also capsule of ankle joint. Here as on the inferior side you have calcaneus, interosseous talocalcaneal ligament, and also remember the cervical ligament extra. And also you have the anterior talofibular ligament on the lateral side because it should articulate with the fibula bone will be there on that side. So talofibular ligament, that's it. So these are the ligaments on neck. Now let us move on to the ligaments which are present on the body. So coming to the lower non-articular part of the medial surface of the body, here it gives mainly attachment to the, so here you can observe it mainly gives attachment to the deep fibers of deltoid ligament. So here will be attachment of the deltoid ligaments, and the groove on posterior surface large tendon on flexor hallucis longus, and the medial tubercle provides attachment here. The medial tubercle provides attachment to the superficial fibers of deltoid ligament above and posterior talocalcaneal ligament below. So you can see here the anterior tibiotalar ligament, this is the posterior tibiotalar ligament. So once again let us check out all the ligaments which are attached to our talus. So talus, if you see on the, and mainly on the superior view, if you see in superior view only have 2 ligaments. One is the dorsal talonavicular ligament and one is the capsule of ankle joint. And if you see the talus especially on inferior side, then you see the anterior you see the spring ligament, you see the cervical ligament, and also you see interosseous talocalcaneal ligament. And if you see the talus from the medial side, mainly you will see the anterior tibio-talar ligament, means on the medial side. So because on medial side you have tibia bone, so it will form anterior tibio-talar ligament. And also there is a groove for flexor hallucis longus, and also there is posterior tibio-talar. So of course anterior tibio-talar and posterior tibio-talar, because tibia is on the medial side, and also there is flexor hallucis longus. Next, coming to the lateral view. On lateral view, you will have the posterior talofibular ligament. Even on lateral view, you have the talofibula. Here you have the fibula ligament, because the fibula will be on the lateral side, and also you have the anterior talofibular. So as on the medial side you have anterior tibiotalar and posterior tibiotalar, here you will have the anterior talofibular and posterior talofibular, because on lateral side you will mainly find the fibula bone. So this is the lateral view, this is the medial view, this is the anterior or superior view, and this is the inferior view. So according to the views, according to their site, we can easily determine what are the ligaments present. So by this we completed the talus. Next we'll go to the calcaneus, which is the largest bone of the largest tarsal bone.